Hey there, it's Elder Kirk from the Israelite Nation Podcast Show. During these difficult times, COVID-19 is showing its impact across the world. We were able to have Elder Shadrock join us in a very special episode of the podcast. We discussed a bunch of different interesting topics, and we hope you enjoy. Don't forget to send any questions that you may have. Contact us at your earliest convenience. Enjoy.
As you said, the situation that we're in right now, it's not the most conducive, not the most favorable situation, but what this does is it allows the Israelite nation to not just really showcase, but to just, it gives everybody sort of like a insight as to what goes on in the Israelite nation. And you start to see, you start to understand that the Israelite nation, it's really not a show. And we don't put on a show. What we do everything from what we are, from the heart. And so for us, doing this podcast, usually we don't even have time for something like this. But because of the situation that we're in now, that you can't really gather. You can't have, you got to practice social distancing. You have to be safe, and you really have to abide by the laws and what the government has put down. So it gives us the opportunity to get intimate a little bit with our Elder Shadrock. He's somebody who, his time is very precious. His time is also something that we relish the opportunity to get to sit down and talk to our Elder. And because there's so much focus that's going on with the I would say in the last couple weeks, what we've been doing, we've been putting out podcasts and we've been putting out things online for such a long time. It really gives you a chance now, because now I'm at home and I'm looking back. I'm sitting down and I'm looking at a lot of these old videos that were put out there, and it just gives you, when I start to read some of the comments, for me personally, is when I start to see and to gauge just exactly what effect that the message has, or what the message, the doctrine has on a wide scale of people, because I'm so used to interacting with just brethren alone. So now I get to see, okay, well, what exactly is going out and what's some of the feedback that we're getting. And I read some of the comments, and a lot of them, I do have to say, they're very laughable when I read some of the comments, but at the same time I have to remember that they're actually being serious. I think what it is that we take so much for granted, the understanding that we have. It's almost like being in the garden, and you have the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and good and evil, and you're consistently around life. We're consistently around progressive things. So when we speak and when we converse, and as you said, like we speak and converse to Elder Shadrock, and it's not like you're speaking to just any person off the street. You're not just speaking to somebody who just started to read about and started to know that, well, we're Israelites. And so the first thing that comes to their mind is just completely only think about the blackness. Or you see people who they want a platform so that they can, I don't know, maybe they feel insecure, maybe there's something off, but for some strange reason, they feel as if they have to exalt themselves and say, well, you know what, I'm a teacher, or follow me. Yes. When there is an Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, in the time of Moses, there was only one Moses. In the time that we were as a nation, as a people, our downfall was when somebody decided, well, you know what, I'm going to create another altar, because I don't want the people going there to worship at Jerusalem, so I'm going to go create another altar.
Jeroboam and Rehoboam.
Yes, so you start to see the decline and the fall of our people. We were never meant to be like other people, so it's everything that is unique about us as a people, about the Israelite nation. So that's why we support and we gravitate so much to our elder, because our Elder Shadrock was the first person who brought this doctrine, who brought this message in such a way that you didn't see the physical aspects of the people, but you started to see and hear and see the spiritual side, which was what was completely missing from us as a people. So having Elder Shadrock here, it is an honor, it is a privilege, it's of the utmost importance that people really understand what his doctrine. It's not so much his doctrine, as he said in the Truth, the Lie, in the Bible. He said it's written here in the Bible.
The doctrine.
The doctrine.
The doctrine.
And it's for us to actually read it and for us to see and understand it. And I will always stick to that principle of knowing that our Elder Shadrock brought this doctrine first in its truest form. And he always based everything off the scriptures. These 66 books, we didn't have to go someplace else to seek, to find. If whatever it is that you're seeking when it concerns God, if it's not within these 66 books, then what you're doing is you're fishing for something else that's not there, and you're trying to support or get support for your doctrine that really doesn't exist.
Some sort of justification for something that's not there.
Something like that.
Some deep buried scroll,
right.
or yeah.
Which brings me, Elder, to this point, and just seeing a lot of the comments, I see a lot of people that are in support of the Israelite nation. They love what you have to say. They agree to what you have to say, but then they'll say, well, something like, "Thank you, Shalom, Yahushua," or or Elohim, or all these sort of titles that they have for God or the God in the Bible, but a lot of it's made up, where it doesn't exist. And these are some of the things that I need for you, Elder, to address. I need for you to speak on these things, because we see it all the time. When we think that you're gaining some ground, it's like you're taking 2 steps forward and then a lot of steps backwards.
First of all, thank you guys very much. It's time you become an elder now. You're getting old.
You got a purple one.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor. And I even have my first student in here too, Elder Kirk. The point is, we are really in troubled times. Now, when we say we're in troubled times, it simply means that the first Passover, it was a lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Death was passing. And we were inside. I hope we have the blood on our doorposts that nothing can really harm us, the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministry, because it is so important for us to understand there's always a parallel. There's nothing new. Mm-hmm. There's always something that keeps coming back. And there is a saying, if you don't remember your past, you can repeat it. And it doesn't go for individuals, it goes for time, and whatsoever we do. So this is a crucial time. And I understand when the time is crucial, it is time to go to our God. Some people would not say our God, some people would say God, but you got to understand one thing. Every nation or every people or every race have their own God. And that is something that people don't understand. Believing that God is universal, that everybody can turn to God. If something happened, where is God? Why did He allow this to happen? Mm-hmm. If they read the Bible, and trust me, everybody reads the Bible, it always talks about a particular people. The Bible never says anything about the whole world except in John 3:16, and that is meant for people to understand, because in the book of Revelation, it also says that until I get my people out. Mm-hmm. James 4:4 says, if you're love of the world, you're not love of God. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is, what I'm trying to say is, we're supposed to be in the right place. We have noticed a spike, not in the COVID-19, but in the interest of the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministry. We have noticed people are really turning towards us and trying to support us, but I know the time is hard. You can't support when you can't even get together. people are beginning to talk a lot about us. And so we have to hold out and continue to teach the truth. The name of God, as you just said. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people can understand this. God has many names. He is